Welcome back to the channel, everybody.
They got me thinking about it. That half second does now feel like an eternity. I'm gonna be like waiting for you, and as soon as I might even interrupt before you say welcome back to the channel. When you say Chan, I'm gonna say, and today we're talking about, just so that there's not that
Eternity?
yes, that is half a second long. So I'll say, and today we're gonna talk about maximizing, putting in minimal effort, maximizing
How to
your
maximize
passing
your
efficiency.
guard passing.
Perfect. Okay.
While standing.
Sure. I like it.
Repeat it back to me.
Maximizing your guard passing while standing. Maximizing your guard passing while standing.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody.
Today we're going to be talking about maximizing your guard passing from a standing position.
Love it.
Boom. Nailed it. Let's go.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Can you just get down there?
Yeah.
Fine. So one of the important principles that we like to go over when it comes to passing the guard is to have very white legs. You really got to get
So
out.
you can reflect the light at your opponent's eyes and then
Come up real quick and,
attack.
Yeah, I didn't even look nervous.
Because you
All
were
set.
too blinded, you were still trying to recover.
Is actually starting in an advantageous position. And what that means is not necessarily starting with a leg drag or starting with a knee cut, but making sure that we start in a position that we can work from intelligently. So we all have these positions, whether it's half guard or a leg drag or a knee cut or double unders, that we really feel comfortable when it comes to passing the guard, and it's our go-to, it's our A game. I'm gonna pass everybody's guard with this, or at least I'm gonna try. The problem a lot of people have is they don't know how to get there. They either find themselves there, but what we wanna do is we wanna systematically make sure that we can get there every time. So I'm gonna show you guys my start position. I'm gonna explain why I do it and the benefits to it and the lack thereof. Okay, it does have its flaws for people who like to play other games. So for me, what we're doing is we're working on the ladder system that I like to refer to it as when it comes to approaching the guard. Is we have feet, knees, hips, chest, hands, shoulders, head, and we kind of want to work ourselves through that ladder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to aggressively work my way up the ladder. And what that looks like is a side step to the left, a step in, and right when I step in, I engage his opposite leg here with mine so that I can come down and I can control his pants, and I can control with my elbow using my knee to face out.
Oh my god! Excuse me. I think that was a defense mechanism. Sorry. Alright. Let's continue. I was fighting it for a while, I'm sorry. It had to come out at some point.
Starting back at the beginning here, because I lost my train of thought. Approaching. I sidestep to the left. I come in. I make sure my knee is facing out to make that De La Riva very hard to get. And I make sure that my other leg is engaged. Okay? I'm pressing. I'm grabbing that knee. I'm stretching my opponent. I'm going for his collar, his gi, the end of his belt, okay, the inside of the pants, the rib cage down here, anything to keep his knees apart, and my chest facing my opponent so that I'm here. 9 times out of 10, guys will grab the ankle, they're gonna start trying to push, and I'm gonna sink my weight into him, and this is my start position. I try to start every round when I'm standing, my partner pulls guard, right here. This is it. I feel like I can pass just about anybody's game or get to an offensive position where I put winning in my favor. Again, we're talking about odds here, not guarantees, because there's never a guarantee in these types of sports. Okay? and then I start working from here. So I back out, my partner's doing whatever he's gonna do, 1, 2, and I give him that look where like I make that just out of reach, I'm pressuring his knee, I'm defending, and it gives me that ability to roll over and get into those knee cut style passes where I can be nice and heavy and I can play my style of jiu-jitsu. And the trick is to make sure that whatever style he has, yes, you like that natural hook?
Yeah, that was baloney, man.
Yeah, I just took that. Is to make sure that no matter what game he plays your start position. That way you consistently get in there and you learn all the ins and outs and all of your opponent's options from that position so that you can start playing real defenses. Again, we're talking about how we're gonna start and the way I like to start. So I'm coming in, I'm engaging the bottom of his foot one time. I'm coming in, I'm engaging behind the knee, preventing the De La Riva, controlling, head up, hips low, nice and in tight, changing sides, and starting to play that knee cut style position. Now, some of you guys are gonna try this, you're gonna play with it, and the mistakes you're gonna make are common. I already know what they're gonna be because when I teach this, I see all my white belts, all my blue belts, all my brown belts make the same mistakes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that is, you don't address the bottom rungs of the ladder here. What happens is you start coming in and you start going up here and start trying to take your grips and you miss. And then your partner starts working into all these positions that you gotta fight out of. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing very quickly, but systematically into this. So I'm going 1, 2. Look, I'm engaging here first, controlling and coming down. That way, if I miss, right, maybe he brings this foot inside and I gotta play defense and I gotta put it back. Then I can come down. I don't wanna necessarily reach and have his leg come over for a lasso as I'm reaching and have him set it because it's gonna be a different problem, right? I wanna start with the same problems every time. Coming in, 1, 2, in nice and tight, controlling, back out. And this is an important start to success so that no matter what he does, right? So like, let's change it up a little bit. Like pick a side, pick a thing, yeah. Maybe he'll play from here, right? So then I gotta get into this. I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna flip his ankles, and I'm gonna place his foot here. That's important, I place it. Then I change my grip, then I come down. And I make sure that if I'm gonna pass from my feet, I start same position every time. That way I can understand the defenses. I'm out of breath.
That was a lot of talking, man.
It was.
Yeah.
Standing's hard.
I'd rather be down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second important thing when it comes to dealing with passing the guard is understanding weight distribution. So essentially what we're trying to do is make ourselves heavy, and not like heavy like a rim around your gut heavy, but like you feel heavy.
That does help though.
It really doesn't. It gets in the way when you try to get inverted. I know nowadays. So one of the ways that we can practice getting this that's very, very simple is from butterfly. So I'm basically gonna give my opponent butterfly hooks and I'm gonna go inside his knees, and then what my partner is gonna do is lift, and then my feet leave the floor. We're gonna go back down, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hip in, so as he tries to do that, go ahead, I go straight up. That way my feet never leave the floor. So what I'm doing is as he goes to lift, my butt's coming up in the air. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick my head up to drive my butt back down, okay? A counter pressure to his lift. So that as he lifts, I basically lift and I stay heavy. And when I want, I can basically turn that on now, so when he tries to lift, I stay nice and heavy, and then it makes it easy to make those switches and then cover for that type of passing, okay? Because I can load it where he's gonna give it all his effort, and then I can change that angle very quickly. He'll fall to one side, I can go the other, and it's relatively simple to do. It's not that complicated. But that concept can be applied in a lot of different ways, but yeah, a lot of different ways. I like that. So here's a little bit more of a complicated scenario that happens from a knee cut from a reverse De La Riva. So I give him that hook. It's nice and deep, okay? So what I'm gonna do is his goal when I'm in this position is to push me away and probably roll underneath, or ignore me and sit up for a single. That tends to be what happens in class. So when I'm in this position and as he's pushing away, right, that's his goal. He's pushing my hip back. So I need to counter that balance. So let's go back. As my hip goes back, I'm gonna rotate and I'm gonna try to pick up that leg as best I can. As I try to pick it up, it will never leave the floor. It's kind of that hidden jiu-jitsu. When he tries to press, I counter rotate and I try to lift that up, and it makes me feel a lot heavier than I really am. Because if I just stand here and try to set my grips and he extends, he can do that no problem. But if I stand here and now he goes and I rotate in, go ahead, press. Go ahead, press. And I can stay nice and heavy with that little bit of rotation and trying to pick up that extra leg. Now, as you can see, I'm slightly out of breath, partly because I'm very out of shape, but I have to engage with my partner. That's part of jiu-jitsu. Is it takes effort to make that little bit of a rotation and effort to pick up that opposite-sided leg to feel heavy against your partner. Being heavy is not easy. It takes a lot of work, and that's one of the scenarios where it's very effective for me, and hopefully it can be very effective for you. Another scenario where understanding weight distribution can be really effective is from X guards. So if we let's make a rotation here. There we go. And then he takes X. Nice. Turn back a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. Yeah, get some space to work with here. So we're in X. My partner's got the legs all nice and locked. There we go. Nice and locked. Knees are apart. I'm a little bit off balance here. You know, a lot of times we want to stay down. If I don't have these winning grips, or I need to just hang out for a little bit of time where I'm not really trying to get out, I'm just trying to survive, right? Like I got put here, I need a few seconds to survive. One of the things that we can do is, as we're in this position, he's gonna try to lift this far leg, and it comes up, and there's a lot of different like inverted sweeps, transitions if he moves his feet into the foot locks, which we're seeing all over YouTube. But one of the things I can do to counter his mobility here and ability to lift. Really?
Shut up.
Really?
It was on my computer. Oh, loud. We'll take it.
Anyways.
It was Adam.
Anyways.
He's like, what are you guys doing at the dojo?
We're in this position. He's trying to lift that leg. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one hand on the floor. I'm gonna counterbalance with a collar grip just because it helps me control the movement of his head. And then as he goes to lift, I lift my other leg. Okay, so that when we're in this position, go ahead, there, and I can stay tight. So now as he shifts me and he tries to move around, like I can pull with my other leg so that my relation to my partner pretty much stays over the top. So when I'm here, go ahead, and I curl, see how he comes up? It's gonna be very hard for him to finish that sweep because I'm using this leg to defend this one, even though they're not together. Okay, I don't wanna, as he starts lifting, come back and try to fight that because then he's gonna get up. But what I wanna do is as he tries to lift this one, pick up my other one and pick his upper half up. Come on, you gotta work, buddy.
Oh, man.
There. And now I can pretty much stay balanced and I can hang out over the top of my partner with a little bit more control in that scenario. So again, just focusing a little bit on the balance and, you know, using a counterbalance or a counter pull to affect the other side. So the third thing that we like to talk about when we're talking about passing the guard is not starting in a specific position, but almost creating chaos right from the get-go, where the partner on bottom, if he doesn't have good mobility or a good shrimping or the ability to go inverted, it's gonna be very difficult for him to keep up. Because if Frosty tries to keep up with me right now, ready?
Ready.
Go. Like I can kind of cheat those corners and I can start forcing him to move in different directions. So what we want to talk about is just creating angles to set up the passes. So a simple way to do that is to find your range. And what that means is I want to be just close enough to him where he feels like he can reach out and touch me, but his knee comes out below his hip. So if his knee is up here by his hip and I'm in here, he's got a lot of pressure and a lot of ability to push. But also, let's go back. The other thing that's important with his knees over here is if I press down here, pick up, he's got a lot of strength there in his quad to lift up. But if I pull his knee below the line of his hip and now I say lift up, it goes right down to the floor. It just changes the muscle being used when the leg is extended. So what we're doing when we're creating those angles is we're trying to get him to elongate himself to try to catch us so that we can counter to use the weight down on the end of his leg. So if I can chase him and I can get him to reach out there, I can pin it for the most part rather easily without him doing much, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna circle, circle, and there. As I create a little bit of tension here, when he goes to push off, I can back up. And that's what's gonna allow me to turn and pass it to the other side. Another thing we can do is as we go to circle this way, I can get him to reach out. Now I'm just gonna back up and I'm gonna go the other way. And then as he comes to face me, I can move past him rather easily. And it's just about working that shuffle to the left, shuffle to the right, cross step, nice and through, okay? Shuffle to the left, shuffle to the right, pass, cross step through. Super simple. Another one I see a lot of people working on is a shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. He reaches out, down, as he goes to throw that leg over. They work a nice catch, passing all the way through, back around. Just creating a little bit of motion right from the get-go so we can shuffle, 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 boom, come back around. The reason why I don't pass up this way is it's very easy for him to go inverted and my leg is through the middle, tornado sweep me over the top. We started chaos and chaos started going in his favor, so I don't want that. What I really want to do is just create action so I end up past his guard so that he has to fight. And what that means is when I pass his guard, it means my whole body is past his hip line, okay? Basically where the belt is, I want to be above it. Even if that means he's inverted, right? Nope, nope, let's go back all the way. There, go, now invert. Pause, stay there. Let go of me, let go of me. I'm not past his hip line, right? Because his feet are below his hips. So I need to go back to then get above his hip line because now his legs are below. Okay, so we always want to follow that rule where, let's turn sideways, where his belt, everything below it as if he was standing, is below the hip line. If he brings his legs above, below his hip line is up here. Now I'm past. Now I'm not past, okay? So when I'm using this chaos style of passing where I'm shuffling, and then he goes inverted, and he comes back up, I don't try to finish here, ever. I always cross step and I go back right into my leg drag where I can back step, pinning that hip, and then pass all the way around, okay? That's actually one of my favorite passes, so if you guys want to see it, comments below. We can make a video on how I actually did that. But for now, that's the essence of creating that chaos, creating a little bit of motion, and then countering our partner's motion because he's getting too open and too wild.
I get wild.
You're slow.
I get wild, man. You haven't seen me get wild in a while because I've been holding it back from everybody else. I don't want to unleash all hell on the gym, but I can get wild from there.
No. Till next time.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking. What the hell is so funny about that? What?
Dropping it.
Drop it, man. You gotta let the people know what's going on. Boom. What's up? Welcome back. That's what they. I can do that. The Ali G show. Did you ever see the Ali G show?
I have no idea what that is.
It's the actor from Borat, and he basically he dresses up as this like British rapper, and he's got like all this like I don't know chains and like do-rags and crazy stuff on, and he starts out every single video doing like this like packing a tin type thing, but he goes booyakasha or like big ups, and then he starts saying what he's gonna say. So it's just like a different.
How do you have time to watch that?
Man,
how do you
that
guys
was
have
classic.
time to watch this?
The Ali G show. If you haven't seen it, honestly, check it out because it's life changing. Same guy as Borat, Ali G, Bruno. I never saw the Bruno movie, but I don't know if that's exactly what I'm looking to, spend my time doing because I haven't exactly heard the best things. But all the other acts are great.
If you've made it this far,
You-
high five.
You deserve an award.
High five.
And your IQ has probably dropped several points.
But hopefully not your grappling IQ. Hopefully that's gone up.
That's true. That has gone up for
Let's
sure.
hope that's
man.
gone up. That's the whole point of the show.
Exactly. The whole
Raise
point.
everyone's grappling IQ.
That's right, and increase their efficiency when passing the guard in this video.
Well, that's this
specifically.
video.
Yeah. But I mean, in general too, just increasing all-around efficiency,
Which you are currently not doing for this video.
like a Tesla.
No, not like a Tesla.
That's what they call me, the Tesla,
I'm pretty sure they don't.
because I'm fast and
You
I
are
don't
not
create a lot of
fast.
gas, and I don't use a lot of gas. I'm efficient. I'm electric. Boogie woogie woogie. Why isn't that their commercial? That would be a great commercial for them. People don't really know what Tesla is. It's electric. Hola mi gente, muchas gracias por asistir nuestro video de Pasando de la Guarda.
I guess. I mean,
I said, hey guys, thank you for checking out our Passing the Guard video in terrible gringo Spanish.
why?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu in Ecuador, for example, and we have a Peruvian individual that we train with, and Rich he's Ecuadorian as well. Yep. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of Hispanohablantes out there that do jiu-jitsu, and they might want us to say some stuff to them in Spanish.
Anyway, ignore him for a second. I hope you guys picked up some valuable information from the video, and hopefully you guys understand the theory that we have behind passing the guard, where you can be more efficient and more effective while doing a little bit less to conserve your energy and be able to apply the energy you have at the right time.
I used to be middle heavy until I learned how to pass like this, and now I do literally nothing to pass, and I'm moving less. My weight has gone up. I'm fighting super heavy now. So you guys could actually do that as well.
All I heard was, I used to be skinny, now I'm
Now I'm
fat,
fat
and I do less.
because of my passing efficiency.
Cause you to eat more?
No, I eat the same. I just move less, so I'm not burning as many calories. And then I'm smushing smaller people because I'm heavier and more efficient. It's kind of a win-win.
Okay. If you guys found this video at all helpful or interesting, or you like the idea of theories and concepts for your jiu-jitsu, and that really helps you learn to better apply the techniques that you already know, let us know in the comments below, because we could do this all day. Thanks for checking us out.